Slavoj Zizek is probably one of the most prominent intellectuals alive today.
Your dead mother, I will dig her out of her grave and do things to her sexually.
He's debated people like Jordan Peterson, he's spoken at Google, spoken at Oxford Union and many other prestigious platforms. Slavoj is a Slovenian philosopher and cultural theorist, and the list of topics he speaks on is just so long that it's not even worth trying to list them out.
And so on and so on.
But the topic of this video is actually about a topic he hasn't spoken that much about, and that's antinatalism and whether he is an antinatalist. Now, there aren't really many places that we can find commentary by him on this topic, but one good place to start as to get a gauge as to whether he may be antinatalist is simply to check if he has children.
Sorry, seriously, can I give you some fucking fruit juice or
I'd
Coke?
love some fucking fruit juice, please.
Now, in a 2012 article for The Guardian, Decker Aitkenhead spoke to Slavoj and they got onto the topic of children. In it, he confirms that he does have 2 sons, but actually never wanted to be a parent. He says this: "I will tell you the formula why I love my 2 sons. This is my liberal, compassionate side. I cannot resist it. When I see someone hurt, vulnerable, and so on.
And so on and so on.
So precisely when the son was not fully wanted, this made me want to love him even more." So this suggests to me that actually, despite him having 2 children, it doesn't actually count against him maybe being an antinatalist, because he didn't want the children in the first place, it seems.
I hate life.
And obviously there are a whole host of reasons why someone can end up having children when they didn't necessarily want them in the first place. So having looked at that, I think we now actually need to just look for his views directly on the topic of antinatalism. And we can find that in a 2008 interview, also with The Guardian, with Rosanna Greenstreet. And this was a lifestyle Q&A, and she asks Slavoj, "If you could edit your past, what would you change?" And Slavoj answers, "My birth. I agree with Sophocles, the greatest luck is not to have been born. But as the joke goes on, very few people succeed in it." So this to me seems pretty antinatalist. And we could just stop there, but there are some more comments that he's made which seem to also have antinatalist leanings. So in that same 2008 interview with The Guardian, he also asks this: "What is the most important lesson life has taught you?" And then he says that life is a stupid, meaningless thing that has nothing to teach you. And this to me, whilst not explicitly antinatalist, does convey an understanding that he has that life is not this amazing thing that we should actively be bringing into existence. It suggests a skepticism towards that view.
The fact that it's not just nothing, things are out there. It means something went terribly wrong. That what we call creation is a kind of a cosmic imbalance, cosmic catastrophe, that things exist by mistake. I was always disgusted with this notion of I love the world, universal love. I don't like the world. I don't know how I'm somewhere in between. I hate the world or I'm indifferent towards it. But the whole of reality, it's just it. It's stupid. It is out there. I don't care about it.
There's also a web chat interview he did with The Guardian, which I believe is where he answers questions live that readers of The Guardian can send in via a web chat on their website. And he's asked this: "Dear Slavoj, how is your recapitulation of Lacan's point that desire's principal aim is to reproduce itself different from Schopenhauer's will, a philosopher largely absent from your oeuvre? And given this formulation, how can we not agree with Adorno that there is no room on earth for all our desires, that we seem to be tragically programmed to exhaust the natural world and witness the terrifying clash of the infinite restlessness of self-conscious beings with the finite resources available to us?" And then he says, "I don't see any continuity between Schopenhauer and Lacan. I think Schopenhauer is at the origins of the rationalist philosophy of life, which has nothing to do with the Freudian unconscious. The Freudian unconscious is rational, articulated, structured like language. Schopenhauerian drive is life drive, while the Freudian drive is death drive. And in the opposition between life and death, I'm for death. That's why I love Von Trier's Melancholia. All life on earth disappears, so I think it's a film with a happy ending." And again here, this seems to have very antinatalist leanings. Now, whilst antinatalism isn't about coming out of existence, but it's about coming into existence, what Slavoj says here does show a deep sympathy or preference for an earth without any life on it.
I feel a kind of spontaneous affinity with quantum physics.
And by extension, I would assume he would endorse a universe without any life in it, which is very much part of an antinatalist outlook. Now, all in all, I don't think we have enough evidence to be able to concretely say that Slavoj is an antinatalist, but he definitely has strong antinatalist leanings. He does a lot of live events, so it'd be interesting if anyone sees this and is at a live event with him to ask him a question directly about antinatalism and see what he says. Anyway, let me know if you think Slavoj is an antinatalist antinatalist. Let me know if I missed anything that he has said that suggests he's antinatalist, and I'll see you in the next one.
Heart lesbians.